is a delightful way through which you can record the development of your child's growth. Just as you will notice that writing and reading improves with age, so does artwork. The role of parents and teachers is to expose children to a variety of materials so that they can create art. Once the variety is offered, children will then have a choice as to whether they want to use the materials or not. But without the exposure, there is no choice. Creating art is a fine way for children to make choices and solve problems. Every step involves making a decision. What color to use, how to make a line, what size to make something. With every choice, the object becomes more and more their own. Everyone has an imagination. Art takes it a step further. Through art, children create something that until that point was only imagined. Thus, they create visual manifestation of abstract ideas. Children who may be having difficulties in other parts of the school curriculum may find an expressive outlet through art. It's a way to uncover talent that may not be seen otherwise. Art is a means of communicating ideas, feelings, and solutions in a way other than verbal or written. In a study by Shirley Bryce Heath of Stanford University, it was discovered that young people who are involved in highly effective non-school art-based community programs in under-resourced communities in comparison with a national sample of students were 4 times more likely to win an academic award such as being on the honor roll, 8 times more likely to receive a community service award, 3 times more likely to win a school attendance award, 4 times more likely to participate in a math or science fair, likely to score higher on their college admission test scores if they have been involved for more than 4 years of after school art study. The main purpose of art teaching for the children with visual impairment is to provide aesthetic experiences, develop students' imagination, creative and innovative thinking, teach ways and means to explore phenomena, develop self-confidence and initiative, bring a new and inspiring perspective to other learning situations. Art teaches problem-solving skills. Exploration of art also links to goals being worked on outside of the art class such as mobility skills, map reading skills, brain literacy and tactile sensitivity. Analyzing, discussing and making art also strengthens critical thinking, expressive and receptive language and cooperative learning skills. Art develops human sensibility and an understanding of the world around us. Take into account ecological values and principles. Art provides a means of self-expression and develops self-awareness and self-confidence. Learn more about oneself and to express one's own thoughts through the creative processes. Art is way for people who are visually impaired to participate in their local communities. Art can be a way for blind people to access and explore the physical, cultural and intellectual world, leading to the development of socialization skills and greater self-esteem. Simple adaptations to make art activities easier for students with visual impairment. Art is something most children enjoy doing and it does not necessarily require great vision or motor skills. There are a lot of quick and easy ways to make art activities easier for kids with visual impairments. When developing ideas for activities, look for things that involve more than just coloring and drawing with pencils or markers. Consider materials that emphasize texture and dimension or teach concepts and skills. Many of the traditional art activities are appropriate if we do necessary adaptations. There are relatively easy adaptations to the creative art program in order to make it accessible to the students who are visually impaired. While younger students typically participate in creative art within the classroom, most school-age students take advantage of this time for an inclusive opportunity with typically developing peers. Whether art activities take place in your classroom or in the art room, the creative art area is a place where students can explore a variety of interesting materials. If you have creative art activities within your room, incorporate materials to make the activities more tactile. Add scents and textures to the duff and paints. It provides them with a means of self-expression and originality. Students can explore a variety of materials, textures and colors and develop fine motor skills. You can make this time more meaningful to the student who has low vision or is blind by adding scents and textures and using a variety of dimensional materials. Provide the students with verbal directions about all parts of the activity. When the visually impaired student hears other students receive directed descriptions of the project, they will not only gain the advantage of hearing the communication for her own reinforcement, but the visually impaired student will also realize that other students also need guided directions. Unless the student with a visual impairment has had previous art experiences, they may not know where to begin with a creative project until they are presented with an example. Be aware that an example likely will tempt them to reproduce it to some degree rather than produce something that is truly original, and thereby limits their own imagination. Remember that art is often an abstract representation of visual impressions. For example, why does cotton represent snow? Help the student to understand the association. When possible, provide real objects that the craft represents. If time and encouragement do not give them the motivation they need, an example can be used. If you are assembling a craft, introduce the student to a model of the finished craft first. Guide the student's hands and indicate landmarks and associations. Make work easy to access. Use trays, for example, cafeteria type cookie sheets or APH work or plate trays to keep materials from rolling or sliding away. Trays also can be used to help contain wet materials. Attach paper to the work surface with masking tape. Remember, do not remove them until they are dry or the paper might tear. Make backgrounds high contrast. Make sure that background papers contrast highly with the materials being used. Dark colors such as black or dark blue generally work best for backgrounds, and brighter, more intense colors make better foreground figures. If the work calls for more colorful backgrounds, consider medium blues, purples and greens. Red, orange and yellow are backgrounds that contrast well with each other and most other colors. Use a light box, overhead projector or other suitable light source to help provide contrast. Tape a thin ply paper such as typing or copy paper to overhead and use watercolor markers alone or with stencils. Do not use wet materials such as finger paints or watercolor paints with overheads or light boxes. This can lead to a shock. Consider tactile issues. Finger painting or play doh can be a great activity for many children who are not able to hold paint brushes easily. However, if they are tactilely defensive, you may need to prepare them for touching the medium with their hands. Before these activities, take time to wash or bathe the child's hands in a tub of warm water with a little soap. Massage the fingers gently and encourage the child to rub his hands together. Scrub gently with a brush or washcloth. Wipe them with a towel or dry and rub a little lotion on them. Never put the child's hands into a substance without telling him or her what he or she is going to touch. If language is an issue, take time to let the child explore the substance using other senses such as smell. If possible, warm the substance a little before he touches it. You can put a jar of finger paint directly into a tub of warm water or put play doh like substances in a Ziploc bag, then into warm water. You want to get the substance just close to body temperature. Touch it yourself before offering it to the child. Lead the child's hand to the substance using a hand under hand technique. Let him experience you working with the material first before expecting him to move his hands into the paint or dough. Utilize themes to help build concepts. Each season generally has colors, shapes and objects associated with it. A summer theme might teach concepts about water and animals that live in the water. Round sand, dollars and star-shaped fish, the colors blue, green, yellow and white, gritty sand and fuzzy beach towels, one fish and many fish. By repeating these colors, shapes, textures and concepts in a variety of art activities during the season, you can help the child learn some specific concepts while they are exercising their creative muscles. Utilize a variety of materials that emphasize different skills. You can work on developing motor skills by choosing specific materials. If the child needs to practice grasping, try using sponges or a bottle with a sponge applicator. If drawing small circles with a crayon is too difficult a task, she might be able to grasp the extra large chalk and draw bigger circles on the sidewalk. She can work on head control, reaching and grasping while lying on a therapy ball or wedge. Using a potato half or corn cob to stamp or roll on paint. If your child does not have enough vision to draw shapes with a pencil, she can glue macaroni, cloth or other materials inside a raised outline made from glue that forms different shapes and patterns. If she can't use her hands to finger paint, she can do some painting with her feet. Practice cane skills by walking around and collecting things to make a collage. Build concepts and practice having conversations as you discuss the items you find together. Art is a great way to keep children entertained, but it is also a great way to teach concepts and skills. Creative activities done together can help build fast friendships and provide opportunities to work on important social skills. Adaptations for students with low vision. For students with low vision, present materials on trays of contrasting color and use materials that have good contrast in general. Use high contrast materials. Highlight outlines of pictures with a black felt tip pen or color it. You may also want to help the student trace the outline and locate important features in the project. Encourage students to use their low vision devices to identify color words on crayons or markers and on worksheets. For students with minimal vision, initially help the student understand the representation of the picture or project and the location of materials by helping her to look with their hands and fingers. Guide the student's hands to locate the landmarks with verbally associated descriptors. If the student needs to color an area, place the paper on the top of a mesh screening or sandpaper so they get a tactual feedback when they color. You will also want to create a tactual outline or border of the area they need to color in. There are a number of ways to create a tactual border. You can use dimensional glue or paint, a glue gun or a sewing pattern wheel poked from the underside to provide tactual information of lines. You will also want to provide indicators for where to apply glue, shapes or materials. Materials for the children with visual impairments art cabinet. Craft glue. This glue is thicker and much easier to work with than the more commonly used white glue. Things don't slide around as easily. Craft foam with adhesive backing. With this material, the child can create shapes and stick them down on the paper. Adhesive foam is a great material for students who are new to art. If the student is not proficient with scissors, the teacher can cut out shapes or purchase ready-made foam shapes. Craft foam. This material is very useful for teaching drawing. The student can draw on a piece of paper laid over a sheet of craft foam. The pen or pencil creates a raised line drawing that is a mirror image of the original. Hot glue gun. Hot glue is a quick way to make raised lines. With the glue, the teacher can outline a drawing for the student to paint or color with crayons. Fabric scraps. Scraps of various textures can be used to compose landscapes and other tactile pictures. Felt, fur, lace and assorted trims can serve many creative purposes. Assorted natural materials. Pebbles, small shells, twigs and even sand are all great for making landscapes. Benefits of creative arts for students with visual impairment. Art to develop cognitive skills. The creative art area lends itself well to teaching concepts. Discuss likes and differences in textures and looks of art materials available. Discuss placing materials in and out of paint glue. Discuss how thick and thin material is. Match art materials of the same texture. Discuss if art materials are hard or soft. Discuss if materials are rough or smooth. Discuss shapes of materials and discuss paint jars or glue bottles as being empty or full. Art to develop fine motor skills. Try finger painting with finger paints, shaving cream or pudding to promote finger sensitivity. Provide materials that provide firm input into the hands. For example, squeezing play in water or beans, pulling on elastic bands. To promote tactual discrimination, squeeze and mold clay or dough to develop hand strength. Practice tearing and cutting paper for arts and crafts activities to develop skillful hands. Recreation and leisure. Recreation and leisure skills may include traditional as well as creative art activities. However, as with social interaction skills, visually impaired students need help identifying the array of choices available to them in this area and must be taught how to perform leisure skills that most students learn through observation. Each person will have their own interests and preferences, but it is important to help a student discover a lifelong leisure activity. Examples of activities include arts and crafts, reading, culture, fitness, outdoor and community activities. Each student should be encouraged to participate in recreational activities with their peers. General tips for presenting the creative arts. While the approach to presenting the creative arts to a student with visual impairment will differ depending on the child, the project, classroom composition and other variables, several tips can be applied to most situations. Following is advice from teachers who have worked with students with vision and hearing impairments. Start a project with something the student can touch. Tactile stimulation is extremely important to people with visual impairments. No matter what sort of project you are doing, whether it be learning about a musical instrument or writing a poem about trees, incorporate the sense of touch. For example, in the former case, you might let the student feel the keys on a saxophone. In the later instance, you could take the student outside to feel the bark or leaves of a tree or the wind blowing. When starting a project, explain where the needed materials are located. Giving the student the opportunity to get familiar with the tools lessens his or her anxiety and prepares him or her for the project at hand. For example, you might say, on your right you will find a bowl of water, or directly in front of you is a container of paste. Let the student touch the materials he or she will be using and learn their function before the work begins. Give clear, specific directions. A student with visual impairment may worry about an artistic activity and how he or she is going to perform it. Giving concise directions will help alleviate some of this concern. Outline each step. Remember, you can never go too slowly. Don't rule out visual aids, but if you use them, be sure there is a lot of contrast. Many students who are blind have some degree of sight. They may be able to see large shapes and the differences between dark and light. Be aware of classroom environment. Environmental factors are important and can influence how well a student uses his remaining vision. Consider such factors as lighting, distance, color, contrast, background noises and glare. For example, avoid standing in front of a light source or window that might seal out your face, making it difficult to see you clearly. Prepare the child's aid or assistant. If the student has an aid or assistant assigned to accompany him or her, spend time explaining the various activities to that person. The more prepared the aid or assistant is, the better he or she will be able to help the student. Write instructions out for the aid or assistant, or even ask him or her to come to your classroom a few minutes early so you can talk one-on-one. Insist the student's AD or assistant attend your class. Build rapport with the student. People with visual impairment can sense if you are tentative or fearful. Be consistent in your behavior and don't back away if you run into communication roadblocks. Work to build a comfortable relationship with the student. Let the student know what's going on around him or her. It is important the student is informed about others in the area and what they are working on. A student with visual impairment will want to know about their surroundings and who enters and leaves the area. If possible, involve the student in group projects. Creating a situation that encourages socialization and a forum for sharing creativity is positive for several reasons. It advances the use of the arts as a means of expression for a student with visual impairment. It involves the student in part of the social framework and it promotes a more positive image of people with visual impairment and disabilities to others. Understand and respect the student's personal space. Some student with visual impairment is very sensitive to touch. When trying to get his or her attention, it is important to take care not to startle the student. Talk with the student or those who know him or her best in order to find out the best way to let the student know of your presence and that you want to communicate with him or her. Pick projects that foster independence. A student with visual impairment may get frustrated if he or she is working on a project that can be done only with constant supervision. Conclusion: inculcation of creative arts activities to the children with visual impairment is a novel idea as it gives him an opportunity to bring out his latent potentialities. Creativity is the quality which leads to production of something new and desirable. The new product may be new to the society or merely new for the individual who creates it. In this context, if anything which helps to bring him social status, a sense of independence, it is the creative arts for a person with visual impairment.